Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm Bean. Today we've got one case, well, old habits die hard. Two cases of 2024 Leaf Heroes and Prospects football to get into. While we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks, and let you know what's live at eBay Live. Also, to mention no purchase necessary for link down in the description. One case. All right, that is two cases. Alright, good luck everybody. Got a bunch of old guys, alright. Let's see what we got. Here's your Michigan guys, alright. Kobe Hudson out of 75. Ty Felton, Troy Polamalu, and Walker Howard. TJ Finley out of 75. Madden Iamaliva out of 199. Marshall Falk and Blake Corum, and Hoss Haney. Caden Dixon Wyatt out of 49. Malik Benson out of 199, Andre Reed, and Jameson Wong. Brady Allen out of 25, Nathan Carter out of 199, Edgerrin James and Damian Martinez, and Alan Bowen. Nicholas Singleton out of 20, Shador Sanders out of 199, Emmett Smith, and Deuce Knight. Sam Harmon out of 20. Elijah Brown out of 49. Chad Johnson and Brady Schmiegel. Marcus Harris out of 199. Doug Flutie out of 199. Thomas Castellanos and Isaiah Bond. Deshaun Fenwick out of 99. Malik Benson out of 199. Andre Rison and Jeremiah Hunter. Jabari Barber out of 25. Braden Dorman out of 199. Brett Biletnikoff and Amari Thomas. Jared Curtis out of 20. Tyreek Hill out of 49. Marshall Falk and Kendrick Law. Caden Salter out of 25. Graham Mertz out of 199. Jada Daniel and Joe Theismann and Jalen Wright. Chase Artopius out of 75. Jason Witten out of 199. Eddie George and Drew Aller. Andrel Anthony out of 99. Lawrence Taylor, Shador Sanders, Jack Plummer. Cameron Edge out of 75. George McIntyre out of 199. Blake Corbin, Marshall Faulk, and Hoss Haney. Jaquez Petaway out of 99. Walker Howard out of 199. Eddie George and Deion Burks. Ooh, dual auto. Chris Brazel and Nico Iamaleava. 1 of 10. That's nice. I'm going to random.org. Willie Rofe out of 49. Roman Wilson and Hines Ward. Ethan Garbers. Ja'Kai Douglas out of 49. Emmett Smith out of 199. Riley Leonard and Walker Howard. Will Cook-Merrick out of 99. Elijah Brown out of 49. Chad Johnson and Braden Dorman. Nick Nash out of 99. Roydell Williams out of 199. Peyton Manning and Nico Iamaleava and Malik Washington. Jaquez Petaway out of 75. Malik Washington out of 199. Mike Rozier and Ethan Garbers. Jerry Bohannon out of 99. Madden Iamaleava out of 199, Ozzie Newsome and Isaiah Nair. Elijah Haven out of 75. Oh no, that is out of 15, excuse me. Will Howard out of 49. Arch Manning and Jordan Travis. David Iziamume out of 99. Roger Staubach out of 199. Malik Brown and Devin Neal. Larry Little, 10 of 10. Jaden Daniels out of 199. Emmett Smith and Carson Beck. TJ Finley, 2 of 5. Terrell Davis, Lynn Dickey, Haynes King. Walker Lyons out of 75. Jalen McMillan out of 99. Riley Leonard and Joe Montana and Dylan Sampson. Chad Ochocinco, 1 of 10. Ty Felton out of 10. Eddie George and Deuce Knight. Cam Davis out of 10. Caleb Jackson out of 199. Whitey Tittle and Jaden Daniels. Max Brosmer out of 25. Emmett Smith out of 199. Randy White and Jaden Blue. Aaron Beasley out of 99. Hines Ward out of 99. Vinny Testaverde and Braden Pelosi. Box number 6. Hodge Malik Williams out of 99. Lawrence Taylor, Spencer Rattler, and Jackson Taylor. Ooh, auto for Eli Raridon. 14 to 25. George McIntyre out of 199. Woody Marks and Marcus Allen and Harrison Wallace. Travis Hunter, Mr. DB, 25. Spencer Rattler out of 25 as well. Vince Papale and Lewis Bond. Derek Balance or Blanche Blanche. Oh, I cannot read. Out of 75. Thomas Castellanos out of 199. Edgerrin James and Deion Burks. Daquan Felton out of 49. Jalil Farouk out of 199. Karen Jones and Mike Vick and Noah Fafita. Telling you, being literate is not required for this job. Brandon Fowler Nicolosi out of 15. Jalen Miller out of 199. Darren Sproles and Braden Dorman. Jalen Milroe, green out of 7, 3 of 7. Will Howard out of 49, Archie Manning and Jordan Travis. Raheem Sanders out of 199, Roydell Williams out of 199, Nico and Peyton, and Malik Washington. Josh Sapp out of 75, Malik Washington out of 199, Jeremiah Liv and Jerome Bettis, and Ethan Garbers. Jacob the Jesus out of 99. Brandon Dorman out of 199. Ozzie Newsome and Jalen Milroe. Drew Pearson, 5 of 5. Nice for the old guys so far. Roger Staubach out of 199. Roydell Williams and Devin Neal. Malik Washington, 3 of 3. Jaden Daniels out of 199. Adrian Peterson and Carson Beck. Jordan Travis out of 25. Irving Fryer, Spencer Rattler, and Isaiah Bond. Jaquez Petaway out of 49. Grayson McCall out of 99. Travion Henderson and Eddie George, and Graham Mertz. Seems I bought all the wrong old guys. Ooh. Jaden Daniels. High marks. 17 out of 25. I'll take that. Spencer Rattler out of 49. Vince Papale and Lewis Bond. Monterey Baldwin, 1 of 1. Curtis Rourke out of 199. Marshall Falk and Cameron Skadaboo. Jamison Wong out of 99. Graham Mertz out of 199. Roman Wilson and Hines Ward and Jalen Noel. Jeremiah Hunter out of 99. Haynes King out of 199. Vince Papale and Brady Allen. Box number 9. Nate Yarnell out of 75. Mike Rozier out of 199. Cam Ward and Benny Testaverde. And Zach Zabrowski. Ooh, Logan Diggs, 410. Malik Washington out of 199. Odell Beckham Jr. and Malik Neighbors and Ethan Garbers. Amani Bailey out of 75. Madden Iamaliva out of 199. Ozzie Newsome and Isaiah Nair. Bear Bachmeyer, New Perspective, 25 out of 25. Roger Staubach out of 199. Larry Little and Dylan Gabriel. Curtis Rourke out of 49. Tyreek Hill out of 199. Marshall Falk and Kieran Lacey. Cameron Lynch Adams out of 99. Jared Gibson out of 199. Emmett Smith and Carson Beck. Carter Bradley out of 75. Hines Ward, Tyrone McMillan, and Jalen McMillan. No relation. Jake Brenningstool out of 99. Malik Benson out of 199. Andre Rison and Jeremiah Hunter. Jalil Farouk out of 99. Brandon Dorman out of 199. Fred Blitnikoff and Andrew Armstrong. Malik Washington, new perspective, 6 of 10. Graham Mertz out of 199. Jaden Daniels and Joe Theismann and Jalen Wright. Dual auto for Cam Scadaboo and Alton McCaskill. 9 out of 10. Tyreek Hill out of 99. Andre Rison and Kendrick Law. Brandon Dorman out of 75. Jared Gibson out of 199. Alvin Bethea and Drew Aller. Jamison Miller out of 75. Steve Young, Troy Polamalu, and Walker Howard. Jalen McMillan out of 75. Ollie Gordon out of 99. Ollie Gordon and Barry Sanders and Jalen Wright. Antoine Hill Jr., new perspective, 5 out of 10. Ollie Gordon out of 99. Cordell Stewart and Jaquez Petaway. Xavier Townsend out of 49. Emmett Smith out of 199. Randy White and Jada Blue. Odell Beckham Jr., 2014 Draft Heroes, 1 of 5. Ty Felton out of 25. Eddie George and Devin Leary. Jaden Bradford out of 99. Elijah Brown out of 99. Chuck Foreman and Brady Schmiegel. Box number 12. Halfway point. Making pretty good time, I'd say. Quan Robertson out of 99. Randy Mouse out of 99. Tony Baselli and Haynes King. Jaden Craig out of 75. Madden Imaliva out of 199. Brock Purdy and Jeremiah Hunter. Amari Knee Black out of 75. Madden Imaliva out of 199. Odell Beckham Jr. and Jalil Farouk. Jamal Haynes out of 15. Cordell Stewart out of 49. TJ Finley and Zach Zabrowski. Cornelius Johnson out of 99. Graham Mertz out of 199. Luke McCaffrey and Irving Fryer and Jarrett Gibson. Jacob DeJesus out of 99. Jarrett Gibson out of 199. Emmett Smith and Drew Aller. Box number 13. Anthony Munoz, 2 of 10. Xavier Townsend out of 199. Randy Moss and Jalen Milroe. Blake Shapen, 15 of 15. Xavier Townsend out of 199. Shador Sanders and Cordell Stewart, 18 of 49. And Jalen Milroe. Dylan Hayden, 2 of 5. Xavier Townsend out of 199. Michael Vick and Kyron Jones. Jalen Milroe. Kendrick Law, auto, 2 of 5. Cordell Stewart out of 99. Jaden Daniels and Joe Theismann and Jalen Wright. Raheem Rocket Ismail, 6 of 10. Xavier Restrepo out of 199. Drew Pearson and Jalen McMillan. Malik Washington, 15 out of 15. Cordell Stewart out of 99. Jaden Daniels and Joe Theismann and Jalen Wright. Cade Klubnik, 8/25. Johnny Football, 29/49. Archie Griffin and Quinshon Judkins and Harlan Berry. Sam Franklin, /99. Willie Roaf, /99. Malik Brown and George McIntyre. Vince Papale, 9/10. Willie Roaf, /99. Malik Brown and Gage Larberdan. Mark Brunell, 1/2. Antonio Williams, /199. Tyreek Hill and Jonah Coleman. Rico Flores Jr., /99. Austin Mack, /99. Drew Brees and Karan Lynch Adams. Ty Felton, /49. Adrian Peterson, /99. Tez Johnson and Achilles Smith Jr. Blake Shapen, 6/7. Andre Anthony, /199. Devontae Adams and Nate McCollum. Darren Sproles, 8/10. Andre Anthony, /99. Devontae Adams and Nate McCollum. Malik Rutherford, /75. Carson Beck, /99. Ryan Wingo and Jalen Daniels. Cody Schrader, 10/25. Karan Lynch Adams, /199. Spencer Rattler and Jalen Daniels. Oh, watch out. Andrew Edwards, /99. Karan Lynch Adams, /199. Sterling Sharp and Jalen Daniels. Dylan Sampson, /99. Johnny Football, /49. Chuba Purdy and Brock Purdy and Graham Mertz. Question, why wasn't I able to purchase the Luther Burton spot? He should have been available. So, unsure. Cam Miller, /99. Carson Beck, /99. Ray Davis and Thurman Thomas. First number, one of these, /199. And Jackson Dart. C.J. Donaldson Jr. /99. Carson Beck, /99. And Gary Nussmeier. Joe Burrow, also /199. That is 2 number versions of those. Jackson Dart. Also welcome in since you're new. Amari Thomas, 8/15. Daquan Felton, /199. Another one. Blake Corum and Marshall Falk, /199. Jackson Dart. Yeah, we don't hold any spots back or anything like that, so should have been listed and available. Blake Shapen, /25. Daquan Felton, /199. Jeremiah Love and Jerome Bettis, /49. And it's 4 for 4 on numbered heroes and prospects. Jackson Dart. Oh, another one. Chad Ochocinco, 2 of 3 this time. Steve Atwater, /199. Devontae Adams and DJ Giddens. Sam Franklin, 5/10. Jalen Wright, /199. Thomas Castellanos and Doug Flutie and Elijah Badger. Dual auto for Deion Burks and Jackson Arnold, 1/7. Ty Felton, /99. Aeneas Williams and Dominic Lovett. Baby Matt Tower, 1/15. Caden Salter, /99. Robert Lewis and Jace McClellan. Mike Rozier, /25. Caden Salter, /99. Riley Leonard and Jace McClellan. Parker McKinney, /99. Caden Salter, /99. Riley Leonard and Jace McClellan. How shocking. Deion Burks out of 99. Deuce Knight out of 99. Jonathan Brooks and Earl Campbell. And DJ Lagway. Elba Bethea out of 25. Deuce Knight out of 99. Jonathan Brooks and Earl Campbell. And DJ Lagway. Box number 18. Hines Ward, 8 out of 10. Johnny Football out of 49. Quinshon Judkins and Archie Griffin and Harlan Berry. Jaquan Jackson, 9 out of 10. Juice Knight out of 99. Jonathan Brooks and Earl Campbell and Devin Leary. Holden Willis out of 99. Deuce Knight out of 99. Jonathan Brooks, Earl Campbell, and Devin Leary. Oh boy. Let's go for it again. Jaden Richardson out of 99. Deuce Knight out of 99. Jonathan Brooks, Earl Campbell, and Devin Leary. Rodney Hill out of 75. Caden Salter out of 99. Damian Martinez and Edgerrin James. And Jace McClellan. Samaj Morgan out of 15. Oh, Caden Salter out of 99. Jackson Dart and Eli Manning out of 199. And Jace McClellan. God forbid we ever miss a Jace McClellan. These are in by Joe Montana. Because I haven't put one of those yet. Oh, well. I know there's going to be one guy that's really happy you said that because maybe you jinxed him in a good way. Talik Williams out of 99. Karan Lynch Adams out of 199. Spencer Rattler and Jackson Dart. Jacob Zeno out of 99. Isaiah Bond out of 99. Larry Little and Andre Anthony. LaDainian Tomlinson, 3 of 3. Nice. Will Howard out of 49. Archie Manning and Jordan Travis. Jamari Thrash out of 75. Isaiah Bond out of 99. Michael Vick and Andre Anthony. Rico Flores Jr. out of 99. Braden Dorman out of 99. Dan Marino and Woody Marks. Jalen Henderson out of 15. Braden Dorman out of 99. Dan Marino and Woody Marks. Blake Shapen out of 7. Nathan Carter out of 99. Dominic Lovett and Hines Ward. And Jaden Daniels. Amari Alston out of 25. Nathan Carter out of 99. Hines Ward and Dominic Lovett. And Jaden Daniels. Let's see it again. Derek Baker out of 20. Nathan Carter out of 99. Luke McCaffrey and Irving Fryer. And Jaden Daniels. One more time. Whoa. Oh, you just had to open your big mouth. Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Brock Purdy. 1 of 3 triple auto. Whew. Xavier Townsend out of 199. Jeremiah Love and Jerome Bettis and Isaiah Bond. Jaden Poison out of 75. Malachi Nelson out of 99. Malik Neighbors and Odell Beckham Jr. out of 99. And Malik Washington. Jamari Miller out of 199. Malachi Nelson out of 99. Shador Sanders and Cordell Stewart and Malik Washington. Box number 21. Robert Lewis out of 199. Jackson Dart out of 199. Wade Tittle and Emmanuel Henderson. Ellis Robinson out of 49. Drew Brees out of 99. Carson Beck and Fran Tarkenton and Curtis Rourke. DJ Lagway out of 15. Will Howard out of 99. Riley Leonard and Joe Montana and Caleb Jackson. Elijah Brown, high marks, 5 of 5. Bucky Irving out of 199, Vinny Testaverde, and Alan Bowman. Rico Flores Jr. out of 75. DJ Uigalele out of 99. Garrett Nussmeier and Joe Burrow, and Miller Moss. Casey Washington, 6 of 10. Alan Bowman out of 99. Malik Brown and Jameson Wong. Well, now Joe Montana has to win the random, so. But again, you've kind of jinxed it so far. Casey Washington out of 49. Aaron Anderson out of 199. Adrian Peterson and Max Brosmer. Jordan Faison out of 25. Johnny Manziel out of 49. Quinshon Judkins, Archie Griffin, and Harlan Berry. Amari Knee-Black out of 49, Andre Reed, and Kyron Jones and Michael Vick. Ontario Brown out of 25. Andre Reed out of 199, Kyron Jones and Mike Vick, and Dalen Hayden. James Orchard Jr. out of 75, Austin Mack out of 99, Drew Brees, and Karan Lynch Adams. Casey Washington out of 10. Willie Rofe out of 99. Relief Brown and Gage Larberdane. Box 23. Nico Martial out of 25. Brendan Sorsby out of 199. Darren Sproles and Lawrence Arnold. Rasheen Ali out of 15. Brendan Sorsby out of 199. Darren Sproles and Lawrence Arnold. Taquan Robertson out of 75. Brendan Sorsby out of 199. Darren Sproles and Lawrence Arnold. David Martinez out of 49. Steve Atwater out of 199. Drew Brees and DJ Giddens. Alvin Bethea, 1 of 5. Andrew Anthony out of 99. Devontae Adams and Nate McCollum. Lewis Bond out of 49. Andrew Anthony out of 99. Devontae Adams and Nate McCollum. And final box of the break. Box number 24. Good luck, everybody. After this, we'll do a hit recap, then take care of the randoms. Braden McGregor out of 99. Isaiah Bond out of 99. Neil Smith and John Rice Plumlee. Davis Brin out of 75. Isaiah Bond out of 199. Neil Smith and Xavier Townsend. Caden Robinson out of 75. Ethan Kaliakmanis out of 199. Warren Sapp and Kendrick Law. Dual auto for Nate Frazier and Roderick Robinson. 2 of 5. Xavier Restrepo out of 199. Doug Flutie and Jadarian Price. Aaron Nolan, high marks. 5 out of 10. Braden Dorman out of 99. Joe Theismann and Jaden Daniels, 41 of 49. And Luke McCaffrey. And final pack. Phil Maffa, 1 of 1. Karan Lynch-Adams out of 199. Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break, as always. Really do appreciate it. Go ahead and get a hit recap going here in just a second. Then we will take care of the randoms. Got a couple of them to take on. And one of them that's really cool. Triple auto with Joe Montana, Brock Purdy, and Steve Young. Ugh. I hope you're ready to hear a lot of the same names during the hit recap, because there will be many, many, many a repeat. Alright, for the hits, any Mel Blunt at all? I don't remember saying that name. But my memory isn't the best. Kobe Hudson, TJ Finley, Madden Iamaliva, Caden Dixon Wyatt, Malik Benson, Brady Allen, Nathan Carter, Nicholas Singleton, Shedeur Sanders, Sam Hartman, Elijah Brown, Marcus Harris, Doug Flutie, Deshaun Fenwick, Malik Benson, Jobber Barber, Braden Dorman, Jared Curtis, Tyreek Hill, Caden Salter, Graham Mertz, Chase, Artopius, Jason Witten, Andre Anthony, Cameron Edge, George McIntyre, Jaquez Padaway, Walker Howard, Willie Rofe, Chicago Douglas, and Emmett Smith. Will Cook-Merrick, Elijah Brown, Nick Nash, Roydell Williams, Jaquez Padaway, Malik Washington, Jeremy Bohannon, Madden Iamaliva, Elijah Hayes, Will Howard, David Eziamume, Roger Staubach, Larry Little, Jaden Daniels, TJ Finley, Walker Lyons, Jalen McMillan, Chad Johnson, and Ty Felton. Cam Davis, Caleb Jackson, Max Brosner, Emmett Smith, Aaron Beasley, Hines Ward, Haj Malik Williams, Eli Raridon, George McIntyre, Travis Hunter, Derek Blanche Jr., Thomas Castellanos, Daquan Felton, Jalil Farouk, Braden Fowler-Nicolosi, Jalen Milroe, Spencer Rattler, Jalen Milroe, Will Howard, Raheem Sanders, Roydell Williams, Josh Sapp, Malik Washington, Jacob DeJesus, Braden Dorman, Drew Pearson, Roger Staubach, Malik Washington, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Travis, Jaquez Petaway, Grayson McCall, and Jaden Daniels auto. Spencer Rattler, Monterey Baldwin, 101, Curtis Rourke, Jameson Wong, Graham Mertz, Jeremiah Hunter, and Haynes King. Anthony Munoz, Xavier Townsend, Blake Shapen, Xavier Townsend, Dallin Hayden, Xavier Townsend, Kendrick Law, Cordell Stewart, Raheem Rocket Ismail, Xavier Strepo, Malik Washington, Cordell Stewart, Cade Klubnik, Johnny Manziel, Sam Franklin, Willie Rofe, Vince Papale, Willie Rofe, Mark Burnell, Antonio Williams, Rico Flores, Austin Mack, Ty Felton, Adrian Peterson, Blake Shapen, Andre Anthony, Darren Sproles, Andre Anthony, Malik Rutherford, Carson Beck, Cody Schrader, Karan Lynch-Adams, Andrew Armstrong, Karan Lynch-Adams, Dylan Sampson, Johnny Manziel, Carson Beck, Amari Thomas, Daquan Felton, Blake Shapen, Daquan Felton, Chad Johnson, Steve Atwater, Sam Franklin, and Jalen Wright. Nate Yarnell, Mike Rozier, Logan Diggs, Malik Washington, Monty Bailey, Madden Iamaliva, Tiger Bach, or Bayer Bachmeyer, Roger Staubach, Curtis Rourke, Tyreek Hill, Karan Lynch-Adams, Jared Gibson, Curtis Bradley, or Carter Bradley, Jake Brenning-Stool, Malik Benson, Jalil Farouk, Braden Dorman, Malik Washington, Graham Mertz, Tyreek Hill, Braden Dorman, Jared Gibson, Jamarian Miller, Jalen McMillan, Ollie Gordon, Antoine Hill Jr., Ollie Gordon, Xavier Townsend, Emmett Smith, Odell Beckham Jr., and Ty Felton. Jaden Bradford, Elijah Brown, Quan Robertson, Randy Mouse, Jaden Craig, Madden Iamaliva, Amari Neblack, Madden Iamaliva, Jamal Haynes, Cordell Stewart, Cornelius Johnson, Graham Mertz, Jacob DeJesus, and Jarrett Gibson. Nathan Carter, Amari Alston, Nathan Carter, Derek Baker, Nathan Carter, Xavier Strepo, Jaden Poison, Malachi Nelson, Marion Miller, Robert Lewis, Jackson Dart, Ellis Robinson, Drew Brees, DJ Lagway, Will Howard, Elijah Brown, Bucky Irving, Rico Flores, DJ Ugalele, Casey Washington, Alan Bowman, and Malachi Nelson. Casey Washington, Aaron Anderson, Jordan Faison, Johnny Manziel, Amari Neblack, Ontario Brown, Andre Reed, James Jointer Jr., Austin Mack, Casey Washington, Willie Rofe, Nico Marichal, Brendan Sorsby, Rasheen Ali, Brendan Sorsby, Daquan Roberson, Brendan Sorsby, David Martinez, Steve Atwater, Alvin Bethea, Andrel Anthony, Lewis Bond, and Andrel Anthony. Cam Miller, Carson Beck, C.J. Donaldson, Ty Felton, Mabry Matt Tower, Caden Salter, Mike Rozier, Caden Salter, Parker McKinney, Caden Salter, Dion Burks, Deuce Knight, Alvin Bethea, Deuce Knight, Hines Ward, Johnny Manziel, Jaquan Jackson, Deuce Knight, Holden Willis, Deuce Knight, Jaden Richardson, Deuce Knight, Wardo, Rodney Hill, Caden Salter, Samaj Morgan, Caden Salter, Talik Williams, Karan Lynch Adams, Jacob Zeno, Isaiah Bond, LaDainian Thomason, Will Howard, Jamari Thrash, Isaiah Bond, Rigo Flores, Braden Dorman, Jalen Henderson, Braden Dorman, Blake Shapen, Braden McGregor, Isaiah Bond, Davis Brent, Isaiah Bond, Caden Robinson, Ethan Kalikmonix, Xavier Estrepo, Aaron Nolan, Braden Dorman, Phil Moffa, 1 of 1, Karan Lynch Adams, and we're on to the duels. All right. Some of these are pretty straightforward. The rest we will go over and explain. Let me get these kind of separated a little bit, make it a little bit easier. All right. So, dual autos, Cam Scattaboo, Alton McCaskill, Nico Imaliva, and Chris Brazzell, Nate Frazier and Roderick Robinson, Jackson Arnold, Dion Burks, and Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Brock Purdy. All those are straightforward. Their names will go into a random.org list. And then whatever comes out on top, comes out on top. Now then, for the rest of these, let's see. Do we have any of these that match up? I don't think we do. Joe Thompson, Jaden Daniels, Cordell Stewart, Shador Sanders, Jerome Bettis, Jeremiah Love, Odell Beckham Jr., and Malik Neighbors on the purples. All out of 49, and a blue out of 99. And then out of 199, Edrin James, Damian Martinez, Eli Manning, Jackson Dart, Thurman Thomas, Ray Davis, Gary Nussmeier, Joe Burrow, and Marshall Falk and Blake Corum. All right, now then, we also have these little puppies to go over. Give me just a second. We'll get these set up and organized. Alright, quick explainer for what's about to happen. Go over this real quick. So with these, we're going to split them as evenly as possible. So there's a Peyton Manning and a Nico. So Peyton and Nico will each have one. We'll do that for pretty much all of these. Split them as best we can. Earl Campbell and Jonathan Brooks has an extra one, so they'll be decided by a random, as well Archie Griffin and Quinshon Judkins. Now then, for all of these, they only had one of each. So, along with the duplicates and the numbered variations as well, what we're going to do is we'll head to random.org. We'll take care of these bad boys, all the duals and the triple. And then we will go ahead and knock out these all in one swoop. We're going to do left and right. So basically what it turns into is hero and then prospect. If it ends on the left, then the heroes will take it. If it ends on the right, then the prospects will take them home. We'll just go all the way down through all of those as well, including the numbered cards. So, hope that's explanatory as possible. It's easy to understand as it can be. And we're going to head to random.org real quick and get these taken care of. On a dual sign card, do I get the card by default? Oh yeah, of course. Yep, if you own, like, say for example you own Scadaboo and Alton McCaskill, then yeah, you 100% take it home without us even having to do the random. We'll still deal it unless you clarify if you have it or not. But otherwise, doesn't matter at all because still going to the same place. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Gotta roll some dice, give it 3 or higher to be valid for us, then we'll go on to the randoms. Gonna go 11 times, almost the full distance on each of these. We've got Cameron Scadaboo on McCaskill up first. That is is 9 times, 10 times, and final row. Cam Scadaboo staying on top. Congratulations. Nico Iamaliva and Chris Brazel. Dual auto. That is 10 times. Final row. Nico Iamaliva coming out on top. Jackson Arnold and Dion Burks. That is 10 times. Final row. Dion Burks taking it home. We're going to skip over you with Frazier and Robinson since you own them both. And go to Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Brock Purdy, the triple auto out of 3. That is 9 times. That is 10 times. And final row. It is Brock Purdy taking it home. Congratulations. That's a nice one. And finally, for the Heroes and Prospects cards, I'm going to do a left to right random. We'll see who wins. That is 9 times, 10 times, final row. And it is the Prospects. So let's be taking them home. Cam Ward, Garrett Nussmeier, Carson Beck, Shedeur Sanders, Thomas Castellanos, Trevor Purdy, Ollie Gordon, Malik Neighbors, Travion Henderson, Woody Marks, Damian Martinez, Quinshon Judkins, and Jonathan Brooks for the base. Damian Martinez, Jackson Dart, Ray Davis, Garrett Nussmeier, Blake Corum for the out of 199s. Malik Neighbors for the out of 99. And out of 49, Jaden Daniels, Shedeur Sanders, and Jeremiah Love. Congratulations to all of you and everyone else who hit in the break. Do appreciate you being here and being a part of it. And we do have some more fun stuff coming up next. We also have a lot of football that is up. We've got Pro Sets Metal as well as Electrum coming up, as well as 2025 Leaf Metal Draft right around the corner as well at the end of the month. So, look forward to having you guys back in here sometime soon. We are on to Vivid Baseball coming up at the top of the hour. Catch you guys back here in a few. All right, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we've got one case of 2024 Leaf Vivid Baseball to get into. When we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks. And let you know we go live, we go live. Also, need to mention no purchase necessary for link down in the description. Just pick the right guys, wrong products. That's true. What if there was no good luck or bad luck? There was just being good or being bad at picking spots. Box number 1, Ethan Holiday, 2 of 8. Jason Churio, 1 of 6. Caleb Durbin, 5 of 6. Alejandro Rosario, 10 of 10. PJ Morlando, 5 of 8. Ethan Anderson, 6 of 7. And Pop Art, Sammy Sosa, 6 of 10. You know what they say about 2 negatives, right? You've got Sosa, nice. Cold streak really coming to an end. Thatcher Hurd, 2 of 6. Gavin Grabach, 3 of 8. Jamie Rodriguez, 6 of 8. Kellen Lindsay, 9 of 9. Jared Thomas, 2 of 9. Chase Mobley, 3 of 4. And DB Sweeney and Charlie Sheen, 3 of 8. Dual auto. Nice. Box number 3, Brennan Summerhill, 7 of 7. Max Bellieu, 3 of 10. Logan Evans, 4 of 10. Dylan Dreiling, 6 out of 10. Jordan Beck, 2 of 3. Tyson Lewis, 4 of 5. And Gavin Turley, Trent Caraway, dual auto, 1 of 6. Nice. Paul Skeens, 2 of 3. Vlad Guerrero Sr., 2 of 2. Hagen Smith, 6 of 8. Mike Sirota, 3 of 5. Carson Benj, 7 of 8. Carter Holton, 2 of 6. And Paul Skeens, Dazzling Performers, 1 of 9. Box number 5, Tria Savage, 3 of 10. Jose Canseco, 2 of 5. Trent Carraway, 6 of 10. Roger Arias, 3 of 8. Cam Cazell, 5 of 9. Miguel Blaze, 2 of 10. And Christian Campbell, 2 of 5. Box number 6, Brady Montgomery, 1 of 4. Greg Maddux, 5 of 5. Eric Petoni, 7 of 8. Angel Martinez, 3 of 5. Chris Cortez, 4 of 8. Blake Burke, 4 of 5. And Josue De Paula, 2 of 10. Peter Montero, 7 of 10. Carter Johnson, 2 of 10. George Lombard Jr., 3 of 7. Zebby Matthews, 3 of 3. Lazaro Montez, 1 of 3. Seth Hernandez, 2 of 8. And Jesus Made, 1 of 3. Box number 8, Manny Ramirez, 1 of 2. Hagen Smith, 2 of 4. Kobe Mayo, 1 of 2. Henry Lane, 3 of 7. Tria Savage, 1 of 1. Jacob Melton, 1 of 9. And Emmanuel Rodriguez, 5 of 6. Box number 9. Cam Conarella, 8 of 8. Ivan Rodriguez, 3 of 7. Braden Taylor, 3 of 5. Yanquiel Fernandez, 4 of 5. Gary Sheffield, 3 of 6. Griffo Farrell, 3 of 6. And Roman Anthony, 1 of 5. Box number 10. Final box of the break. Good luck, everybody. Kristen Scott, 9 of 9. Jesus Made, 6 of 6. Bryce Cunningham, 3 of 6. Victor Scott, 2 of 6. Devin Taylor, 2 of 10. Gavin Gravbach, 3 of 6. And Dylan Cruz to close us out, 4 of 10. Do we get more people on eBay Live or YouTube? YouTube normally. And it's not very close. But if you're on eBay Live, then you get the fun experience of whatever is going on over there in the chat right now. Mesmerizing. All right, for the hits. And of course, we do have 2 randoms to take care of. Carter Holden, Carson Benj, Mike Sirota, Hagen Smith, Vlad Guerrero, Paul Skeens, Miguel Blaze, Christian Campbell, Cam Cazell, Roderick Arias, Trent Caraway, Jose Canseco, Trey Savage, Chase Mobley, Jared Thomas, Kellen Lindsay, Jeremy Rodriguez, Gavin Gravbach, Thatcher Hurd, Tyson Lewis, Jordan Beck, Dylan Dreiling, Logan Evans, Max Bellew, Brendan Summerhill, and Paul Skeens. Sammy Sosa, Ethan Anderson, PJ Morlando, Alejandro Rosario, Caleb Durbin, Jason Churio, and Ethan Holiday. Tria Savage, Henry Lane, Kobe Mayo, Hagen Smith, Manny Ramirez, Roman Anthony, Griffo Farrell, Gary Sheffield, Yanquiel Fernandez, Braden Taylor, Ivan Rodriguez, Cam Conarella, Dylan Cruz, Gavin Gravbach, Devin Taylor, Victor Scott, Bryce Cunningham, Jesus Made, and Christian Scott. Jesus Made, Seth Hernandez, Lazaro Montez, Zebby Matthews, George Lombard Jr., Carter Johnson, Kader Montero, Emmanuel Rodriguez, and Jacob Melton. Jacob DeJesus, Blake Burke, Chris Cortez, Angel Martinez, Eric Petoni, Greg Maddox, and Brady Montgomery. And going to random.org, Charlie Sheen and DB Sweeney, 3 of 8. And Gavin Turley, Trent Caraway, 1 of 6. Alright, that is it for baseball for today. Thank you guys for being here, being part of the break as always. We're going to get this random taken care of. And then we are on to, I believe, Signature Series here in just a few minutes. Stay tuned for that. We'll see you back here soon. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Gotta roll some dice. Gotta be 3 or higher to be valid for us. We're gonna go 9 times on each random. Starting with Charlie Sheen and DB Sweeney. That is 8 times. Final roll. Charlie Sheen coming out on top. Congratulations. And Gavin Turley, Trent Caraway. That is 8 times. Final roll. That is Gavin Turley taking it home. Congratulations. Alright, that will do it for us for baseball. Thank you guys again. We are on to 2025 Signature Series. I'll catch you back here in a few. Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we got one case of 2025 Leaf Signature Series to get into. While we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks and let you know we go live and eBay Live. Also, mention no purchase necessary for a link down in the description. Box number one. Good luck, everybody. Jose Canseco. Start us off. All these are one of ones. Rick Pitino. Cam Smith. And Floyd Mayweather. Nice. I will say last year's Signature Series is no comparison to this year. This year's is much better. Dontrell Willis. Lance Briggs. Magic Johnson. Whoa. Redemption Quad Auto. Messi, Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Kaká. Wow. Boom for that. That's going to be a horrifying random. So good luck to all involved. Take care of that at the end of the break. Vince Young. Gabriel Magalhaes. Andrei Shevchenko, and Katie Ledecky. Yeah, like I was saying, this year's product, A, double the cards, B, just 1,000 times better. Chuck Knobloch, Dickie V, Jerry Stackhouse, and John Morant. Nice. Box number 5, halfway point. Trinity Robin. Greg Maddux, Mike Schmidt, 50 out of 99 on card, and DJ Lagway. Connor Griffin, Burt Jones, Darryl Strawberry, and CR7 Redemption Cristiano Ronaldo. Boom. Man, it's too busy in the desert to sign any stickers, apparently. Also lets us know who we're waiting for on the redemption. Also would have been an actual live card. Ozzie Smith, Seaver King, Tony La Russa, and dual auto, Jake Plummer and Sam Levitt. It's a nice one. Box number 8. Dennis Rodman. Anisha Morrow. Jim Rome. Rome is burning. 35 out of 100. And Miggy. Box number 9. Giannis. Mark Mosley. Edgerrin James. And Brandy Chastain. And final box of the break. Box number 10. Carlos Boozer. Cam Scattaboo. Odell Beckham Jr. On card. 50 out of 100. And Deontay Wilder. Boom. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break, as always. Quick hit recap, and then we'll take care of the randoms. Jose Canseco, Rick Pitino, Cam Smith, Floyd Mayweather, Dontrell Willis, Lance Briggs, Magic Johnson, Vince Young, Gabriel Magalhaes, Andrei Shevchenko, Kato Ledecky, Chuck Knobloch, Dickie B, Jerry Stackhouse, and Ja Morant. Trinity Robin, Greg Maddox, Mike Schmidt, DJ Lagway, Connor Griffin, Burt Jones, Darryl Strawberry, Redemption, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ozzie Smith, Seaver King, Tony La Russa, Dennis Rodman, Anissa Morrow, Miguel Cabrera, Jim Rome, and Giannis. Mark Mosley, Edgerrin James, Brandy Chastain, Carlos Boozer, Cameron Scattaboo, Odell Beckham Jr., and Deontay Wilder. And for the multis, Duel, Jake Plummer and Sam Levitt, and Piece de Resistance, Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo, and Kaká. Quad Auto Redemption. Alright, we're going to head to random.org real quick and get these knocked out. Up next is 2025 Leaf Metal Pop Century. We'll be back with that after we finish up the random. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you back here in a few. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Going to be hard to be valid for us. And we're going to go 9 times on each random, starting off with the duel of Jake Plummer and Sam Levitt. That is 8 times. Final roll. Sam Levitt will be taking it home. Congratulations. And finally, the quad. Lionel Messi, Neymar Jr., Cristiano Ronaldo, and Kaká. That is 8 times final row. And it is CR7 coming out on top. Not for the first time. Congratulations to whoever ended up buying that. That is quite the stack of cards you got coming. All right, we are on to Pop here in a few minutes. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you momentarily. All right, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we've got one case of 2025 Leaf Metal Pop Century to get into. When we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save it as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks and let you know with the live and eBay Live. Also mention no purchase necessary for link down in the description. All right, good luck everybody. Box number 1. Exactly, you are just in time. Start off with Jimmy Walker, Bernadette Sanders, and Ralph Carter triple. And printing complete 1 of 1 for Tony Todd. Mike Mylock, 12 out of 15. Elijah Wood, 2 of 3. Bo Derek, 3 of 3. And Tommy Lee, 8 of 15. That it did. Box number 2, Chris Kirkpatrick and Adriana Barbeau. Tatiana Maslany, 6 of 7. Barbara Eden, 12 out of 25. Chanel West Coast, 4 of 5. And Sarah Michelle Gellar on card 9 of 500. Box number 3, Amelia Clark and Morena Baccarin. Jillian Anderson, 1 of 4. Engelbert Humperdinck, 3 of 3. Megan Fox, 1 of 1. And Gina Davis, 3 of 5. Brie Larson and Famke Janssen. Alicia Ware, 15 out of 25. Adriana Barbeau, 9 out of 15. Mystery Redemption, going to the Mystery Redemption spot. And Jesse Metcalf, 48 out of 100 on card inscription. Box number 5. Tommy Chong and Peyton Manning. Charlotte Ross, 5 of 5. Selma Blair, 2 of 5. Robin Thicke, 2 of 2. And Marissa Tomei, 1 of 1. Boom. We'll take that. Robin Thicke and Rosanna Arquette. Federico Castelluccio, 1 of 6. Lindsey Wagner, 2 of 2. Joey Fatone, 19 of 20. And Ralph Macchio, C. Thomas Howell, and Emilio Estevez, 2 of 5. Triple auto. Boom. That'll be going to random.org as well. Stay tuned if you have either of those guys. Box number 7. John Bernthal and Benedict Cumberbatch. Chris Kirkpatrick, 4 of 4. Griffin Dunn, 1 of 3. Frank Fair, 2 of 6. And Kate Beckinsale, 1 of 1. Box number 8. Jamie Kennedy and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Chumley, 420. Ooh, Corey Taylor, 4-5. Nice. John O'Hurley, 3 of 3. And 1 of 1. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, dual auto. Boom. Now that's an unfun random. Good luck. Box number 9. Susan Sarandon and John O'Hurley. Famke Janssen, 1 of 1. Nice. Pam Grier, 1 of 4. Sean Gunn, 1 of 3. And on card, Michael Douglas, 11 out of 100. And final box to break, box number 10. Good luck, everybody. Printing plate for Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, and Juliette Lewis. And Paul Johansson. Chevy Chase, 3 of 3. Edward Furlong, 2 of 4. Marissa Tomei, 1 of 1. Boom. And Heather Locklear, 4 of 6. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break, as always. Go ahead and get a hit recap going real quick, then we'll take care of the randoms. Got some fun ones mixed in there. For the hits, Freddie play 1 of 1 for Tony Todd, Mike Mylock, Elijah Wood, Bo Derek, Tommy Lee, Chris Kirkpatrick, Adrian Barbeau, Tatiana Maslany, Barbara Eden, Chanel West Coast, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Amelia Clark, Marina Bakarin, Gillian Anderson, Engelbert Humperdinck, Megan Fox, Gina Davis, Brie Larson, Famke Janssen, Alicia Ware, Adriana Barbeau, Mystery Redemption, Jesse Metcalf on card, and Tommy Chong. Peyton Manning, Charlotte Ross, Selma Blair, Robin Thicke, Marissa Tomei, Robin Thicke, Rosanna Arquette, Federico Castelluccio, Lindsay Wagner, Joey Fatone, John Bernthal, Benedict Cumberbatch, Chris Kirkpatrick, Griffin Dunn, Frank Fair, Kate Beckinsale, Jamie Kennedy, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Chumley, Corey Taylor, John O'Hurley, Susan Sarandon, John O'Hurley, Famke Janssen, Pam Greer, Sean Gunn, Michael Douglas, Paul Johansson, Jeff Chase, Edward Furlong, Marissa Tomei, and Heather Locklear. And then everything going to the randoms. Jimmy Walker, Bernadette Sanders, Ralph Carter. Printing plate for Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, and Juliette Lewis. Ralph Macchio, C. Thomas Howell, and Emilio Estevez. And 1 of 1. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Dual auto. Alright. Thank you guys so much for being here, being part of the break as always. We have more of this as well as 2024, 2023, and 2022 pop either up or going up. So we look forward to having you back in here sometime soon. This has been BMC Collectibles Breaks. Have a happy start to your week. Happy Monday. And we're going to head to random.org and get these knocked out real quick. See you back here in a few. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Coming through your heart at Val Force. We're going to go 4 times on each random. Starting off with Jimmy Walker, Bernadette Sanders, and Ralph Carter. That is 3 times. Final roll. Ralph Carter coming out on top. Jeffrey Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, and Juliette Lewis. Printing plate. That is 3 times. Final roll. Juliette Lewis staying on top. Triple auto for Ralph Macchio, C. Thomas Howell, and Emilio Estevez. That is 3 times. Final roll. Emilio Estevez taking it home. Congratulations. And finally, the 1 of 1 dual auto, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. That's 3 times. Final roll. Mel Gibson coming out on top. Congratulations. All right, that will do it for us for today. Thank you guys again. This has been BMC Collectibles Breaks. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday and start to your week. Look forward to having you back here sometime soon. And later, everybody.